Okay. So, how many of you have worked on the last week's assignment? In case you have not worked and need more time, please let me know now. Okay, Asit has worked on it. So, Asit, you need more time or you have already worked on it? Oh, wait, I'm putting you all on. People, you can, guys, you can unmute yourselves and speak up.
Yeah,
So,
at least
Kaushik says need more time. Asit also says need more time. Yeah, who is this?
This is Aditya.
Yeah, Aitha, tell me.
So I had some questions regarding the iDoc. So if it is fine if I
Yeah,
ask
tell me.
now. Yeah. So when we were covering the iDoc the previous week, the heading was ALE, iDoc, and EDI, right? So the iDoc part I understood how to create the inbound and the outbound, but then how does the EDI segments map here? Does the EDI team map the same segments that are there in the iDoc?
How does the EDI segments out, like it comes as a product, like suppose if you want to output a purchase order or output a sales order, that is already mapped by the product team, which all segments are there, considering the interfaces and all. That we don't need to bother about. Basically, whenever we are mapping that, that will be told by the product team, like which all segments are there as a part of the product.
But I can have some custom segments, right? Then if I have to send
Custom
that to the
segments,
carrier.
custom segments normally we don't create. I just showed you. Normally what we do, we extend the segments. We extend the segments in case if we want to send any additional data, if we want to customize the solution. So rather than basic IDOC type, we have that option, no, extension of IDOC type, right? So in that, what we do, like whatever Z segments or whatever you have created, that you will map it under your the extension IDOC type. You will provide your basic IDOC type. You will provide your Z segments there and provide additional fields to pass the data. Rest will remain the same, only wherever the configuration and all were there, along with the basic IDOC type, you need to mention the extension IDOC type as well.
Okay, okay. And if from the external system I'm receiving an iDoc, so after the system from the inbound side, if I'm using an S4
Okay, so from the
system.
external system, if you're receiving the IDOC, it's their responsibility to send you the data. We will just receive the data. Whoever is sending you the data, they have to do the mapping and all and send us. And after you receive the data, then only you can play around with the segments. It's their responsibility to map the data and send us. Whoever is sending you the data, suppose you're getting the data from cloud or anywhere via iDoc, so they have to let us know which all segments they have mapped the additional data. The other team's responsibility is to communicate to us as they are doing the mapping.
Okay, okay. So if I am using only proxy, maybe I have an inbound proxy with me, and suppose the carrier is using iDocs, so can it send an iDoc?
No,
But
proxy is
are
a
the ones
different, iDoc is a different.
so
Proxy is
so
your
where
web
does this
services
conversion
and all.
happen in web method? Yeah, yeah.
I did not get you.
So I'm saying even if I'm using a web service, okay, for maybe an inbound or outbound communication, and if I have to send it to the carrier or to the customer, it is via EDI. So where does this conversion
No,
happen then?
proxy is not via EDI. Proxy is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
via
I know
EDI.
proxy is
Web
not via
services are not
EDI,
via
but
EDI. Hmm?
no, but there would be some conversion somewhere, right? In the web methods or somewhere, which if it has to go through an iDoc
So
or
basically what
something.
happens, your web services data will go through your XML and all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So web services and proxy is through your XML and CXML. iDoc,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
EDI is for iDoc only.
Okay.
Both are different things.
So is iDoc the last stage of data that I receive, or there can be conversion from iDoc to XML? That can also happen, right? Or no?
See, example, if you speak about a cloud solution where the cloud integration gateway is there, so data will come into CIG. CIG is not an ABAP's responsibility. CIG, they will do the mapping from CXML to iDoc, and then the data will come in the form of iDoc. So there also CIG will handle whatever your interface team is there, your PIPI, PIP or XIXO team. They will have that responsibility to map the data from CXML to IDOC. We don't have to also do that.
Yeah.
Other teams will do that. So once
So we
the
only
data
have
comes to your ABAP system, then only it's a responsibility how the data is coming and which all segments we have to read. So in case if they will tell you to focus on a particular qualifiers and all with respect to certain segment names and all, then they will mention it out to you that use this segment under this qualifier and all.
Okay, so in that case, the tags that you have in the XML, we need to have a mapping for that in the IDOC, right? If there is a conversion that is going to
That's
happen.
what I'm telling. That is not our responsibility. That is the
Then, yeah, I
interface team
understand
or
that
your
part.
XIX or PIPO team will do.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Getting the point, Aditya?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
In every organization, there is a PIPO and XX team, right? So
Yeah.
they will do the mapping and all with respect to conversion and all those things. They will do those mapping. We don't have to do that mapping. That mapping will be done by them. Example, when I'm telling you about your cloud integration gateway system, which is speaking to cloud and the data is coming from cloud in the form of CXML, they will do the mapping from CXML to IDOC and the data will come in the form of inbound IDOC to your system.
Okay.
And similarly, while the data is also going out, data will go out in the form of IDOC and again in the CIG, it will get converted to your CXML and ultimately CXML will go and speak to your cloud.
Okay, fine. So in our course,
So that
is there a
conversion which
topic
is
where...
happening at CIG,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Got the point?
Yeah, I got it. So the other question I have, so in our course that we are doing, is there any topic that we have where we are going to modify the proxy and maybe through body or something change the data? Is there anything that we have in the course?
No, we will just see like how to implement body and handle web services and all. In this system, we don't have that much feasibility to change proxy and all. That you can try it out in your organization systems and all by playing around with standard proxies. And in case if you get such requirement, you can obviously come to us and ask us. We will be showing you how to handle web services and all, and how to check the bodies and all. That implicit enhancements and all those things, but we don't have such feasibility like where we will change the standard proxies and all.
Okay, fine, no problem.
That in case if you get any requirement, you can come to us and let us know.
Yeah.
Where you are using a body to pass any additional data to the proxy or in proxy calls while sending the data, you are doing some kind of additional mapping to the structures and all. It's in proxy, it's a very simple thing. So you have your structures for the proxy. So basically, in case if you want to get any additional data, your proxy structure needs to be enhanced. So proxy structure enhancement can be done by either two teams, either by an ABAPer or mostly in most of the developments it's done by your PIPO team. They will enhance the proxy structure. Mapping will be done by them. Once the data comes, then you need to read from the corresponding enhanced fields and all. Similarly, while sending the data also, the same track has to be followed, that you need to map the data to those corresponding structures and ultimately the data will flow and you can check the same via SRT_Moni or XMB_Moni. Mostly SRT_Moni.
Yeah. Got it.
In case of proxies.
Yeah.
Like it's a very common requirement wherein you need to pass some additional data via proxy call. So this is the process which you need to follow.
Yes.
Got the point, Aditya?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Any other queries? So let me see who all joined. Okay, fine then. So no other queries, right? Then we will not discuss on the assignment today. We'll discuss on the assignment tomorrow, guys, right? So if you are planning to work it on and finish off the pending things by today, so then we will discuss on the assignment tomorrow, right, guys?
I have an additional question. Is that fine if I ask?
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, so for the outbound emails, I'm sure that we see the if all the configurations and the coding is fine, I'll see the message in the SOST, right? So how do I check if the inbound message has come or not? Definitely in the workplace, in the inbox, I don't see that email, but how do I check
No,
that
IDOC will
technically?
not come to inbox. You are talking about mails
No, no,
or
no.
you are talking about IDOC?
Yeah, emails.
So if you are sending an email, okay, so in SOST I showed you, no, in
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
system,
For
if you,
outbound.
yeah, tell me.
Yeah, yeah. For the outbound, it's visible in SOST, but I'm sending an an external email back to the SAP system, so I don't see that in the SAP workplace. So how can I technically
No,
see
no,
that
no,
the
no.
email has come but
Send,
not
if
reached the
you
work?
are sending from an outside system to a common SAP DL, okay, suppose you have created an email ID which is applicable for your SAP system, suppose if, and it receives your incoming mails, right? Suppose
Yeah,
from
yeah.
your external system. Then the first
Yes.
the same has to be configured
Yeah,
from your
yeah.
basis team. Until
Yes.
unless it's configured, you won't be able to see any incoming mails to your system.
Yeah.
Once it is configured, then you will be able to see all those details in your SOST and incoming also. Don't go
Okay,
by
so
SBWC. SBWP, what I told basically from your workflow thing consideration. Like
yeah.
your, suppose somebody has given you a purchase order for approval or somebody has given, you made you as a delegate for approval of certain documents. So in case everything related to workflow you will be finding in SBWP.
Okay. So even inbound emails will come in SOST. That is what you're trying to say.
Yes, but first those thing what I told, the email and what all you are
The
want to trigger
yeah,
to
yeah,
your
that one.
incoming mail. First, everything has to be maintained by your basis team so that the incoming emails can hit your SAP system.
Okay, okay. Because I had the
Okay.
necessary configurations from basis, but still I could not see anything in SOST actually. So I thought if you can
So
check
see,
with basis.
after, normally what happens, no, just you won't want a mail to just come in. So suppose sometimes what happens, suppose you are attaching certain documents and with the help of those documents, you want to process something. So along
Yeah.
with those documents in that escort, you need to configure your methods or classes or something which will handle the logic for triggering with respect to that incoming mail.
Yeah, yeah,
Getting the point?
yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Got the point, no?
Yes, yes.
Any other queries from anyone? Guys, any other queries? Shifani, is speaking anything? Shifani, you want to ask anything? Fine then. We'll start with your module pool programming today. Okay. So today's agenda will be covering on like introduction to module pool programming. We still now we have, while creating a program, we have been selecting either executable program or include. So rather than executable or include, today we'll be seeing like we need to specify their type M for module pool programming. We'll be understanding the some of the screen elements, the screen fields, attributes, the screens, how the flow logic happens, the GUI status, then how to validate using the concept of field, module, then values, chain and all. Then we will do end-to-end design of certain use cases, and finally for execution of a model pool program, we'll create a T code and execute the same. Okay. So now coming to your module pool programming basic details. So example, till now whenever you were developing any reports, what it was doing, you were just putting some data and it was fetching all the relevant details from your database and you were seeing the output, right? So it was basically a one-way interaction wherein it was reading and analyzing the data from the database, and ultimately you get a report out of it and then you analyze the data, right guys? It was having a one-way interaction, right or wrong guys, with respect to your reports till now what you are doing. Now changing the picture when we speak about module pool or dialog programming. So what happens is, normally it will not be always be a one-way interaction. It has to be like you will pass something, then it will give something, then again it will pass something, and then again you will get something. So it has to be a continuous interaction. So suppose whenever you are entering an SAP transaction code, what happens is we will either enter the data into the screen fields or use the buttons which are present in the menu bar at the top. Okay, for example, a save button or something. So these interactions which will be happening between the user and the screen is called the dialog programming or the module pool programming. So a dialog or a module pool program basically allows you to work interactively with your system, and it can be used to create custom SAP screen as per the business requirements. So a module pool program can be a single screen, a collection of a multiple screen, or a collection of subscreens and all. It will also comprise of your flow logic, the menu bars, and a particular ABAP transaction code. These all things will be required to build your complete module pool programming application. The most important thing in module pool or dialog programming is that the certain sequence of screens that needs to be processed by the system one after the another. Okay, so in case if you get any requirement wherein the user is asking you to enter the data, then click on a certain buttons, then create a screen wherein you want to pass some data, manipulate certain certain validations and all, and after that again you want to display the output in another screen, then you go for a module pool programming. Okay, so let us understand by first creating a basic first module pool programming. So what we will do is, let's log into our SAP system. So out of you, anybody has worked on module pool programming till now? Anyone? Anyone has worked on any module pool programming till now? Okay. So today you also need to practice along with me. Okay, so once I do one part of it, then you need to complete, then we'll move to the next part of it. So the first T code that you need to specify in module pool programming is you provide SE80 as the T code. You can provide SE38 as well, but like I'm providing SE80. Okay, now after you provide SE80, click on the program here, specify ZDemo module, just a second, ZDemo specify any name, create the object. Now it asks whether you want to create a top include or not. So now I hope that you all are aware about this top include, right? Are you all aware about this top include? This which is specifying. We have seen this while creating includes, by creating a top include, like wherein we put all the declarations and all. Right guys? So in case if you want to create with a top include, you can select this option. In case if you don't want to create with a top include, then don't select this option. So now here, instead of executable program, select the M module pool program. Okay, then click on save, provide your package, or if you want to save in a local object, and done, right? So what did I do? SEAT, provided the program name, then what I did, change from executable property to the property as M, that is the module pool. And then as you do, provide in your, click on your either you want to save it as a local object or you want to save it in a package and a TR. So this is the first part. Okay, now after this what we will do is, I will create a screen out of it, right? I will create a screen out of it, because for module pool program I need to create a screen. So what I'll do, right click here, create, then click on the screen, click on the screen. Now the screen number can be anything. See, the normal standard selection screen number was 1000, right? So you can provide anything. Normally the nomenclature is like for custom screens, for a standard SAP solution, if you want to build any custom screen, we follow the nomenclature from 9000 series, okay? But you can specify 100 and all as well. So suppose if I specify the screen number as 100, then click on enter. Now this type of layout will come, this type of layout will come, okay? So specify something in the short description. So demo on module pool. Now here the DINPRO type, select it as normal, okay? Then go to the flow logic, click on save, then click on this layout. So once you click on this layout, the screen painter will open, the screen painter, wherein you design all your screens. So on the left side, these all are the different elements that you can design for your screen, and these are like how you use for your check and activate and run and all, okay? If I want to go back, or if I want to check the element list, I'll click on this flow logic, I'll go back. If I want to check the element list, as in what all elements I have designed for the screen till now, you will not get anything as of now because I haven't designed anything. So what I'll do, again go to the layout, okay? Now suppose I want to first demo program, like I want to create a hello SAP yard or hello world or something, okay? Select on this text field, provide here, okay, and double click on this. So specify a name for this text field, any name. So suppose text, okay? Then provide the text here. So hello participants, okay? Now you provide this, don't do anything now, let's understand it step by step. Don't do anything now, just close it, okay? Then after you have done the changes, click on save or click on check. Normally I direct click on activate, because what will happen, it will ask here, click on enter, this will blink, come here, click on flow logic, it will come back here, okay? So what I did, I clicked on screens, now see the screen 0100, okay? I went to the layout, fine, I selected this text field, dragged it here, provided a hello participants and a name for this text field, done. Then clicked on activate, it will ask you for saving the object, activating the object list, click on enter, then come out of it here and then click again on back for the flow logic, right? Up to this point it is done, right? Now example, now tell me guys one thing, now this is your module pool programming, right? So if I just click on execute, will I get any output or not? Will I get any output or not, guys? No, right? Why? Can anyone tell me why? Can anyone tell me why I will not get any output? Yeah, because this is not a executable program. If you see, if I just activate this program, okay, and click on go to and click on this attributes, this is a module pool program. This is not a executable program. So For executing a module pull program, what you can do is, there are two ways. Okay, there are two ways to it. Either I create a T code for it, create a transaction. I will create a transaction. So suppose z demo underscore T code, okay, and text demo T code for module pool, and here select program and dinpro. So example, when you are creating a selection screen report for a program, select this report transaction. When you are selecting a module pool for a program, select this first option, then enter, then here it will ask you for this program name. So specify this program name here. Okay, screen number, it will ask you for the screen number. Screen number is 100. Screen number is 100. Now select on this SAP GUI for HTML, SAP GUI for Java, and SAP GUI for Windows. Click on save. It will ask you for the package. It will ask you for the TR, and done. Now come here, see this, and click on execute. Can you see this, hello participants? This is what is specified. But now guys, tell me one thing, will I be able to come back out of the screen without terminating this session or opening a new session? Yes or no? Is any of my application toolbar or menu bar enabled? No, right? I will not be able to come back unless I do a /n or something. So we will see this in the next demo, like how to enable all this thing to build the complete functionality. But as of now, understand the steps that we did. So what we did, we created a module pull program type M. We went to the layout, we specified a text field, gave a hello participants as the text for it. Then we came back, activated everything, running the module pull program. Since it's not an executable program, we cannot execute it. So one of the way for executing it is by adding a transaction code. So we added a transaction code for the same. Then we specified a T code, mentioned the name of the program. Then we specified the screen number of the same. Then we saved all the details, checked on the last three checkboxes, that is SAP GUI for HTML, Java, and Windows. Then we saved all our changes, and then we clicked on execute this transaction, and this we created our first module pull program. So suppose if I specify this z demo underscore T code, directly run this T code, and I'll get the screen. Got the point? So yeah, I'll once again repeat, Asit. Okay, so first step, you will now create. First step, I'll just again mention the steps. First step, go to SE80, select program, specify the name of the program. Okay. Second step, while mentioning the properties of the program, change the attributes to executable. Instead of executable, make it module pull program. Third point, right click on this thing, create a screen. Okay, this thing will come up. Specify the screen number, anything apart from 1000. You can specify 1000, but don't specify 1000. 1000 is the standard selection screen number. Specify any number ranging from 3 digits to 4 digits. Suppose if you specify 100, then automatically your PBO and PI will come. We'll understand what does this two mean. Okay, initially if you see, I had not added anything initially, only OK was coming, right? Now see this, I have added a text box. So I am getting this name of this text, and the type is text, right? Then click on this layout or Control plus F7. Then what do you do? Design a text box for the same. Click on this text box, drag it here, specify the name of the text box and specify the text that you want to display. Click on activate, it will come here. Click on the object list to activate the same, then return back to the flow logic. This is your flow logic. We'll understand what do you understand by this flow logic. Then since it's not an executable program, it's a module pull program. For executing the same, you need to specify, one of the ways to execute the same is that you need to specify a transaction code for the same. What I did, right click, create a T code, specify the module pull program name, the screen name, because you are selecting dinpro and the program name. Then what you do, Click on the all the check boxes which are there at the bottom and then execute this T code. Is it clear, guys, up to this point? Asit, now is it clear? I reiterated all the steps. Is it clear, Syed, Asit, Aditya, Sachin, everyone? So now tell me one thing, you want, guys, you want to first create this small demo screen or should I proceed forward? What do you want? You want to do hands-on on this for this first next 5 minutes or should I proceed forward? Okay, so now it is 8:01. Guys, you will need 5 minutes, right? Because now all the steps are very much clear. So next 5 minutes, please finish this first. Create your first module pull program. Okay. Follow the nomenclature that was given by SAPR to you. So 8:01 till 8:06, please finish your first screen and let me know. Okay. Chalo. Fine, guys. 5 minutes is fine for everyone, right? Asit, your query is clear, right? The steps which you wanted to understand. Asit, are you there? So Asit, you can practice the same as guys are practicing till 8:06 or 8:07. So Asit, now the doubt which you had, I hope it's clear now. Aditya, you don't see layout option. Here it is, the layout option is there. You need to add a screen. Once you add a screen, then you will be able to see the layout option. You are doing the same steps as I did, right? Are others also not getting the layout option or what? So Syed got it. Aditya, just check once. If you have missed anything, click on this program, right click, create on screens, specify the screen number. Then once you specify the screen number, this layout will come. In the attributes, oh shit. In the attributes, you provide that normal screen and then click on save. Were you able to get it, Aditya? Can you ping your program name? The name which you have created? Aditya, what's your program name? ZDemo mod P00. Okay. Yeah, the layout is coming, no? See, the layout is coming, Aditya. See this. Yeah, so Aditya, what you do, no? You are getting a screen, the template is, your theme is like this, or you are having some other theme? Aditya, your theme is same like what I am using, or your theme is different? So what you need to do is, click on options, then click on your theme and preview settings. See here, I have selected this blue crystal theme. You can select the same. Change the theme once. Got the point, Aditya? Okay, so should we proceed ahead? And I think even I'll give you time after, again, when I teach this radio buttons in module programming, I'll give you time again, then you can do the same. Is it fine? Today you will all practice along with me, so you will get sufficient time, don't worry. So Asit and all, I hope you all have done. Srishti, Asit, Shifani, everyone, right? Kaushik, Nirmit, Anand, Snehal, I hope all have completed till now. Okay, fine then. Let's proceed further. So SAT, what was the name that I gave? ZDemo. Okay, I'll provide a new name so that again it will be much more clear to you all. So ZDemo module pool training 1, okay. So create a new object. Now I'll create with top include as well, guys. Okay, I'll create with top include as well. So I need to specify a name here for the top include. So I'll specify a name for the same. So zdemo underscore mp underscore training 1 underscore top. Fine. Then see, this module pool program came. Okay, click on save, provide the package, save it in a tr. Okay, now see, the include came and this came. Okay, now right click, create on screen, specify the screen number. Suppose I specify a different number now, 101. Then demo on radio button in module pool program. Okay, so element list, initially you will not find anything apart from this one. Flow logic, click on save, click on this layout. So up to this point I had already showed you, right? Now what we will do, we'll create 2 radio buttons and we will see like how to you create a radio buttons in case of your module pool programming, and along with that we will also understand your GUI status and GUI title. What do I mean by that is that, so basically when we were designing a screen, at the top I was not having my back, exit and all those options and the menu bar and all. So I'll enable all those. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll create a radio button. So increase the length of the same. Here specify the name as RAD1. Okay, and provide the text as radio button 1. Fine. Then I'll click on one more. I'll click one more here. Increase the length of this. Specify the name as RAD2 and radio button 2. Okay, now this radio button and this radio button, I'll select the same, go to go to edit, grouping, select your radio button group. Okay, and click on define. Got the point? Select all the radio buttons. Like suppose since I have created 2 radio buttons here, select both the radio button, then click on edit, then go to grouping, then go to your radio button group. Okay, now double click on the same, here you are seeing this option as the function code. Here you are seeing this option as the function code. Specify here as radio. Any name you can give. It's not that I am giving radio here. Any nomenclature you can give. So since I'm using radio button, I'm giving it as a radio. Okay. Now close this. Double click on this. See, automatically radio will come because already I have done the grouping from here. Edit, grouping, radio button group. I have already defined the same. Hence, once I specify a function code for one of them, the other will automatically be specified, the whatever function code I specified for the same. Now as I told you, click on activate, come here, it will ask you for the object list, come here, then go back, click on the flow logic and come here. Up to this point I created my screen, designed my radio button, and I have added a top include one as well here. Okay, now if you click on this element list, can you see here 1, 2, 3, 4 RAD1, RAD1, RAD2, RAD2, 4 it is coming, right? One for your radio button name and the other for what is for clicking. As in, what I mean is, if I again go to the layout, one will be for holding the value of what you are clicking here, right? Because whatever you click, it will capture your value, and the other will be for your name. The name of this element, that is the radio button element that you have used, RAD1. Similarly, if you click on this, RAD2 for the name of the radio button 2 element, and the other that you are seeing the other that you are seeing is for capturing the value, whether like when you created a radio button in selection screen, you provide no parameters p underscore rad1 radio button, remember, type radio button group and all. So there that p underscore rad1 captures that value whether it is x or the p underscore rad2 equals to x. Similarly, the other two is for that. Now this OK captures all your user actions on the screen. All your user actions on the screen. So rather, what is the system variable for capturing the user actions, guys? What is the system variable for capturing the user actions? Like we have sci uname, sci datum, sci use it. What is the sci underscore? Sorry, sci hyphen. What is it? Yeah, sci ucom. So rather, if you don't want to use this, you can use sci-ucom for capturing all the user command actions, okay? Or you can specify a OK underscore code here. This OK underscore code will also capture your same values as sci-ucom, okay? Now what you do? Activate the same. So the screen is also activated now, right? Now, once I activate the screen, if you see here, if you go to the flow logic, it speaks about PBO and PAI, right? Now, what do you understand in PBO and PAI is, before the screen is getting displayed, before your screen is getting displayed, as in, wait. So suppose this is my screen, right? Suppose this is your screen. So process before output, the flow logic, it is like first PBO, then it goes to your screen, then after that it goes to your PAI, okay, and after that from PAI, so once you open your screen, suppose any screen you are opening, okay, any screen whatever you are opening, so what happens is first PBO will trigger, that is the process before output, as in the flow logic, okay. So if you see here, sorry, not here. So see here, process before output, right? So first your PBO logic will get called, then your screen will get loaded, then it will come to your PAI part, that is your process after input part. So as the name suggests, process before outputting of the screen. Whatever processing has to happen before the screen gets loaded. You want to display some initial values, you want to load some validations or something. So everything what you do before the screen gets loaded, it will be at process before output. Now once your screen gets loaded, you are performing certain user command actions on your screen. Those everything will be handled at your process after input. User is inputting something, user is doing something on the screen, so he is handling or manipulating with the screen. So whatever user action commands he is doing on the screen, it will be at process after input. First PBO, screen gets called, PAI. Now once you do any kind of manipulation in your screen, after the PAI gets triggered, then from PAI again PBO will get triggered, and then again the screen will get loaded. So what I mean is, it will come like this. It will come like this. And again it will come like this. So PBO, see here now. So first PBO, process before output, as I told you, screen got loaded, you did some manipulation on the screen, that you was performing user command actions, PI will get triggered, then again the screen also has to load back, right, with whatever performance command or actions that you are doing on the screen, right, it also again has to load back. So PAI, whatever inputs you are doing, again after that it will trigger again the PBO and again the screen will get loaded. Guys, did you understand this flow? This you need to understand it very properly while doing multiple programming. PBO, screen, PAI, then again PBO, then again screen. Getting the point, guys? PBO, screen, PAI, again PBO, then screen. Always remember this flow. PBO, screen, PAI, again back to PBO, then again screen will get loaded. Okay, now with this same concept, now let us proceed further with this creation. Now the second part that I was telling you. So here in the PBO, whatever logic you write, it is written under your module, then your module name. So suppose if I uncomment this, okay, if I double click on this, it will ask me for creating this object. If I click on yes, it will ask me whether I want to create in the available includes which are already there, or I want to create a new include. So either you can create a new include for the same, okay, you can create a new include for the same. So suppose if I click on this, okay, if I click on this, it will create a new include for the same. So a new include will be inserted, okay. Now do you want to save? Yes. I click on the same package and the TR, see this got created, okay. Now again I'll go back here, click on save the changes, then click on this user command module. So I'll click on the same. Suppose if I want to create a new include for the same as well here, suppose user command I01, I click on the same, I click on the same, and this also got triggered. Now first thing here, in the module status 0101, can you see two lines of codes are already there? That is, this is for your GUI status and this is for your title bar. So now I'll uncomment the same. First, let us understand this GUI status. Now suppose Z, give any proper name, Z training underscore status, suppose I've given this, okay. Double click on this, it will ask you to create the object. Now here provide the text, so demo status, click here. Then here if you see menu bar, application toolbar and the function keys. Normally we deal with the function keys or the application toolbar, but most of the time we will deal with the function keys. So see here, your save, then back, exit and cancel. So suppose if I want to use the two, back, I'll specify back here and I'll specify exit here. Okay, click on save. See the screen, the GUI status came. If you double click here, this is what it is there, okay. Now go back, activate the same as this was inactive, activate the same. Now again go back to your screen, go to status 0101. So this part is done. Now I'll set the title bar of the same, okay, the title bar of your screen module program. So Z title training, okay. Now again double click on the same, it will ask you to create the object. and provide a title now. So demo on radio button. Okay, then enter. Okay, so see here GUI title also came. This will not ask for any activation or anything. This is just a text thing. Okay, now again go back here. This is inactive, activate the same. Now what all things are inactive, activate the same. This is inactive, right? So activate the same, and I will activate this also simultaneously together. So these all got activated. Click here, activate the entire program. Now guys, tell me one thing, will I be able to execute this program, yes or no? Will I be able to execute this program, yes or no? How will I be able to execute this program? I haven't created a T code for this, Naresh. Naresh, till now I haven't created a T code for this. How will I be able to execute, right? So I won't be able to execute the same. So one way is, in your main program, here is your main program, right? So in your main program, add a statement, call screen 101, the screen number. Okay, sorry. Okay, call screen 101, activate the same. So there are errors. Let us see what is the error coming. So it is telling that statement is not accessible. Which statement? Tell me guys. The statement is not accessible, right? So this call screen is not accessible here. So come here, try to activate the same here. It will say statement is not accessible, line number 17. Why? Because this is not my executable program. This is my module pull program. So suppose click on go to, click on attributes. If I change this to executable program, if I change this to executable program, and now if I save it, click on check, statement is not accessible, right? Call screen 101 is not accessible, right guys? What I did, I changed the property from module pull program to executable program. See here, this is my module pull program. See, still the changes are not applicable. So select this, go to attributes, ZDemo training 1. Okay, click on save. So if I click on save, it will not allow me to change it. Wait, I'll show you. It will not allow me to change it because I have an error in my code. So what I'll do, first I'll comment out this. Okay, then I'll go to the attributes, make it an executable program, click on save. Now I executed the program. Okay guys, now tell me, if I execute the program, will I be able to see anything? Can you see here the change is not yet applicable? This is still showing me as my module pull programming only. Guys, can you see here? Still it is showing me as my module pull programming only. It is still not my executable program. So rather than changing the properties of the program, the best way is to, for handling a module pull program, always let the attribute be a module pull programming only and create a transaction code for the same to execute the module pull program. So click on go to, click on attributes, make it as a module pull only. Okay, save. Then what you do, create a transaction code for the same. Create a transaction. Suppose I'll specify zdemo underscore t code 1 demo t code for radio button. Then specify the program name here again. Specify the program name. Screen number is 101, right? Then SAP GUI for HTML, SAP GUI for Windows, and SAP GUI for Java. Then save it. Then save it here. Now first check whether everything is activated or not. So this transaction code you cannot do anything. Check for whether this is activated or not, whether this top is activated or not, user command is activated or not. Then check where this status is not activated. Can you see? The status is not activated. I'll activate the same. Then screen is activated or not. The screen is active. Then whether my user command, I haven't added anything. So see here, whatever modules under PBO and PAI, I have uncommented the same, though I have tried to add the logic in the different includes. See this module status, module user command input, but simultaneously will also see the PBO modules and PI modules also being reflected here. So in PBO and PAI, whatever modules you keep on using as per the requirement, the same will also get displayed under your PBO and PAI modules for the same. So now let me activate once everything. Okay, now let us try to execute this. Can you see? Radio button 1, radio button 2. Now guys, tell me one thing. Question to you. If I click on this, will anything happen? If I just click on this, will anything happen? If I just click on this, will anything happen? And also see, by default radio button 1 is only coming selected. Nothing is happening. Can you see? Nothing is happening. Can you see? If I do anything, anything will happen. I am doing user command, anything is happening. Anything is happening, guys. Can you see? Why so? So Asit tells no logic. Why so? Why nothing is working here? Only this title came and only this came. Why no logic? Nothing is working. Guys, why nothing is working? Yeah, Janani, right. So why the same is, I have just designed the screen up to this point. I have just designed the screen up to this point. I have not written any logic for the same, guys, right? I have just designed the screen up to this point. I have not written the logic for the same. Hence the reason nothing is working for me as of now. So now next question to you. Up to this point, do you first want to practice the same and then we proceed with the logic? How do you want to do? First, do you want to, up to this point, do you want to practice the same? Create this basic screen up to this part? Guys, tell me. Okay, fine. Then I give you 10 minutes. Up to this point, create both these radio buttons, create the GUI status, create the GUI title, create the includes, create the transaction, and activate all your PVO modules and everything. Reach up to this point. I give you 10 minutes till 8:45. Then we will start writing with the logic. Okay. So 11 minutes from now, please start. 11 minutes is sufficient, guys. Okay, Asif, try. In case if required, we'll stretch 5 more minutes, okay? So start now. Guys, has anyone done it? Guys, anyone done till now? Asid, not an issue. We will practice two more big assignments. Like one we will use like calculate two numbers and all. Then we will create table steps, so you will get to see all the steps again. So in case anyone has forgotten, I'll reiterate. First, create the program, create the screen. In the screen, PBO and PI will be disabled. First, go to your layout, design the screen, add the radio buttons, group them by clicking on edit, grouping, radio button group and define. Okay. Once you have done the same, uncomment both these modules, status 0101 and user command 0101, because this 0101 is your screen number. So in case if you don't want to use the nomenclature which is given by SAP, you can use your own nomenclature as well. Uncomment the same, double click on this, it will ask you for saving it. Either you can save in your same main program or you can create a new include for the same. After that, once you enable the same, you will see PBO modules, PI modules and these two includes also coming up. Then what you do, go to your screen 0101 or whatever it is, then create a PF status, specify a name, double click on the same, go here, click on your function keys, provide a back or exit, whatever nomenclature you want to give, specify here, click on save and then click on activate. Then click on the title here and specify a title for the same, whatever title you want to see. Asit, I hope now it will help you. And also additionally create a transaction code for the same. Not an issue, Asit. Slow and steady wins the race, right? So Asit, you happy now with the US election results as you were telling last week? Yeah, right. That's very much true. Okay, now let me show you the so now let me just show you the logic part, then you can continue. Okay, you can get 5 more minutes and do the remaining part of it. So in the PBO, since we don't want to enable anything, because here only we have got 2 radio buttons only, so we don't want to validate anything or do anything in the PBO. Now what we will do is, in your screen in the user command, I will add the logic here so that I'll be able to handle which radio buttons and all is clicked. Okay, now what I'll do, so if OK underscore code, I've specified OK underscore code there, right? So if OK underscore code equals to, what is the name of the radio button group that I had given radio, right? In that function code, if OK underscore code equals to radio and RAD1 equals to X, okay, then message radio button 1 is clicked, type I want to display it as an information, else if OK underscore code equals to radio and RAD2 equals to X, then message radio button 2 is clicked, type I, else the OK underscore code, the what we specified, exit and cancel and all, okay, else leave to screen 0, then end. I'll remove this. Now guys, tell me one thing, if you see this RAD1, have I specified it anywhere? Though the name of the text elements I gave it as RAD1, but this I haven't specified anywhere, right? I have to define also the same, right? Whatever nomenclature I gave there in the screen designing as RAD1, I'm specifying the same name here, but have I defined it anywhere in my program, guys? Yes or no? Have I defined this anywhere in my program? Yes or no? No, right? So I will define the same. So what I'll do, I'll go to this top include and data RAD1 comma RAD2, okay, control and F3 and activate both the same. It will throw me an error telling that OK underscore code is unknown. Why? Let's go to the screen, go to the element list, and here it is telling that OK underscore code is unknown. So where did it go? This is my active. I've specified OK underscore code here. Okay, I got it. Where did we add? Go to the screens, go to the flow logic, go to the user command, and it is telling your try to activate the same. Sorry. And if we specified OK underscore code, why it is throwing an error? Now let me go to the user command. For the time being, let's handle through SciUcom. We will see why the issue is coming. Okay, so now activate this. I'll activate this. Okay, Syed, it doesn't matter about type in small or capital. I'll check that why it is not taking that OK underscore code. So for the time being, we'll use that SciUcom, the user command action. So what I did is in the user command, if SciUcom equals to radio and RAD1, So RAD1 same name I have given. If you go to the screen here and if I go to the element list, RAD1 is the same name which I have specified and RAD2. Similarly, in my user command RAD1, if it RAD1 the radio button 1 is selected, I have written message radio button 1 is clicked, type I. If in case radio this is selected, radio button 2 is selected, type I, else I will leave to screen 0. So now let me execute the same. See here, so radio button 2 is clicked. Now see, this is getting disabled, this gets enabled. Okay, now this radio button 1 is clicked, and now if I click on back, it come back here. So leave to screen 0 means it will again transmit you back to the screen from where you called that other screen. So I'm calling this screen 01000101, right? So when I am in screen 101 and when I'm doing leave to screen 0, it will again make you reach to the position from where you call the screen. So since I'm calling from this T code, so example, if I'm specifying this T code as zdemo underscore T code 1 here, okay, if I'm specifying the same and if I go back here, it will again navigate me back to this same screen because from here I call that T code. So from whichever screen you have called that particular transaction, it will again make you reach back to that screen. So in this way, we will add logic. So in the user command, I will just check and get back to you why OK underscore code it is not taking. So sci-ucom equals to the radio button group whatever function code I had given. Example, what I mean here is, so if I go to the layout, in the layout if you see, if I double click on this, here the function code I had given as radio. So whatever name you specify here, you need to specify the same in your user command, and RAD1 you need to specify so that to understand if the radio button 1 is clicked or not, to capture the value of that variable. So if you just now I'll debug you the same. So example, one thing is that in PBO here you cannot debug the screen like this. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to first provide this thing here, then go to the user command, provide this thing here. Okay, now what you do, specify the T code. Now let me show you. So when I am executing this T code, as I showed you, first the PBO will be triggered, right? So set the PF status. Suppose I don't want to execute this lines of code, F6, then do an F6. See, the screen got loaded from PBO, right? Now when you do any user command, again the PAI will be triggered. See guys, see this. Again the PAI will be triggered. If I don't want to execute this module, do F6, right? It comes here under this user command, right? Do an F7, the radio button 2 is clicked, PI got handled. Now again the PBO will get triggered, guys. Again the PBO will get triggered as I told you. Again do an F8, see the screen got loaded. Now you understood the flow, guys, how it is going to happen. PBO, screen, PI, PBO, then again screen, which I showed you just now. So now what you do is add this logic to your user command action and debug the same to understand the flow. Whatever user command name you are given under the function code while defining the radio group for the radio buttons, use the same here, and else you can, if you want to check, you can add the sci-ucom as whatever name you specified here, as in else if sci-ucom equals to exit or sci-ucom equals to cancel, as in what I mean is what you specified here, that is back and exit. Whatever name you give, you can provide the same under the codes and check. Up to this point, is it clear, guys? Addition of logic, how to debug the same, where do you need to put the breakpoint for analyzing the screen and all. Up to this point, it is clear? Syed, you got the point, right? Okay guys, now I give you 5 more minutes. Now add this part and finish off this part, what you were practicing. Add this logic, debug the same once and finish this part, then we will move to the next topic. Okay, 5 minutes is sufficient for you or you need 10 minutes? So guys, the one more point which I wanted to show you at that time, see this, the other point which I was showing you, I was telling that don't try this thing, but in case if anyone wants to try, so suppose by mistake if you have created an executable program, okay, if you have created an executable program rather than a module program, the other way instead of creating a transaction to use the same is that you can add this statement call screen and the screen number, call screen and the screen number, and after this your PBO and PI logic will be added here, as in if you are adding in the includes or if you are adding in the main program declaration, call screen and then include. So if you check the property attributes here, I've changed it to executable program. So in case if someone goes to SE38, creates an executable program, and if you want to call the screen, so if I now rather than going to the transaction, if I execute this, so debugger will get triggered because I had put the breakpoint. So F8, see the screen is getting triggered, see this. So in this way you can also execute your module program. But why I don't suggest this is because whenever you are designing a module program, user will not going to execute the program name, they are going to ask you a T code for the same. So again it doesn't make any logic or any sense to call the screen like this, okay. If in case you are calling any standard screen number of any program and all, then you can use this logic. But in case, since you're creating a custom solution, the end user is obviously going to ask you a transaction code for the same, so that they are not going to specify this report name and run and all. So hence the reason, rather than this, create a transaction for the same and use the transaction to call your module pool program. So I hope you guys got the point now what I wanted to say. Guys, getting my point? Guys, are you there? So Asit, suppose a requirement comes wherein you want to build a complete new screens. Suppose you want to build a screen wherein you want to attach certain documents by providing certain document numbers, and once you get those documents, you want to update some data back to your database tables with the help of those documents. So then how will you build this solution? I am not going to do it via selection screen or something. I'll need to create a module pool program, create a screen wherein I give the feasibility of providing certain document details. Once I click on submit, those document details will open up for me. I'll select any particular document. There is an option will be there at the side, which in, well, I'll attach some files or something. Once I attach and again I click on submit, then that attachment will go and hit my backend database table and it will be stored. So suppose this kind of functionality is there. Will you be able to do it through your selection screen? No, right? You need to create a module pool program for the same, because continuous user interaction and all is there. Selection screen, if it was normal report and all, it was fine. But selection screen won't look good if you do it in this way. It will be looking better if I do use a module pool program for the same. Getting the point, Asit? One more scenario. Suppose I want to see ALV as when I showed you on that way, that you can use the container for getting ALV and all. So suppose if I want to create a particular screen of my own where I want to embed some of the particular functionality, rather than using a standard one, I'll completely build a custom functionality in my SAP GUI. So then I have to again use module pool program for the same. Okay, so we saw creating first module pool program, handling radio buttons. Okay, so similarly I'll show you one more program which I've created to calculate the sum of two numbers via user input and understanding PBO and PAI. Okay, so okay, so see here. Focus here, guys. So see here, the concept again here remains the same. Just I have added one more information here in the menu bar. Okay. So here if you see, when my screen is getting loaded, the values of A and B are pre-populated with the value as 1. Can you see, right? When I click on calculate, the value becomes 2. When I click on clear, all the value gets disappeared. Again, when I specify some other value as 4 and 7, and when I click on calculate, the value becomes 11. When I click on clear, all the value gets disappeared. Right? Now, let me go to the program. So, same what I did. Here if you see, I have not created any top include for the same first point. Okay. What I have done is, I wanted to show you through this call screen. I am calling the screen 100. Okay. Then if I want, I can skip this also. So since I have changed the attribute for this to executable program, hence I have kept this call screen. Now, okay, the one point which I wanted to show you why that OK underscore code was not working, guys, because At that time, OK underscore code, I hadn't declared the same, because instead of sci-ucom, I'm using OK underscore code, right guys? Yes or no? At that time, during I was trying to do user interaction, rather than sci-ucom, I was doing what? OK underscore code, right? Which I had specified under my screens here. So if I go here, double click on this, if I go here, see I have specified OK underscore code here, right? So this OK underscore code, like how I'm using A and B, if I'm using A and B, if I go to my flow logic, if I go to the layout, if you see my screen design, let me open the screen design. Why suddenly the system has become very slow? Okay. So now see here guys. So if you see, this is my, okay, now you need to answer me. So guys, now tell me, what is this? This is my text field or what? What is this? This is my text field or what? This is my text field, right? This is my input output field. This is my input output field, okay? This is my input output field. If you see here, I've specified the name as A here, okay? I've specified the name as A and the format as integer 4. Similarly for this also, this is my input output field. I specified the name as B and the format as integer 4. Now for calculate and clear, I have used two push buttons. This is your push button. So push button, specify any name as you want and the text that you want to get displayed on the top of your push button. Since on the click of this, certain user action has to happen. So guys, question for you, will you specify any function code for the same or not? Yes or no? Since you have to do user command actions on the click of this calculate or clear, do you have to specify function code for the same or no? Janani says yes. What about the others? Yes. That is the reason, if you see here for this function code, I've specified any name you can give. I am just given the same name what I gave here, CAL. Okay. Now similarly for your clear also, here also you have to specify a function code for the same. Once you have done this, I have created one more text field as a result and I have specified this input output field and the same as integer 4. Now come out of the flow logic. Once your screen is designed, PBO, setting the status, setting the title, right? Now guys, tell me one thing. What I told, when I am initially opening the screen, so what I mean is when I am initially opening the screen, can you see this? I have not clicked on anything. I want the values to be populated. Where will the logic be written, guys? To initially populate the values of A and B as 1, where will this logic be written? Yes, Janani, in PBO. So I hope other guys will also agree with this point that the logic has to be written in PBO, or any other answers from anyone. Right? So the logic has to be written in PBO. So now that is the reason, after I have set the GUI status and the title bar, what I am doing, see here A equals to 1, B equals to 1. But when I am clicking on clear, I should be able to clear the values, guys, yes or no? If I am clicking on clear, I should be able to clear the values of the input fields A and B, right? So if I should be able to clear, now the second thing I want to show you now, this result is not my input field, right? This is my output field only. In case if I want to change the same, go to 100 screen, go to the layout. Once you go to the layout, double click on this, go to the program and go make it output only. Activate the same, come here, enter flow logic, go back, activate the same, then slash n zdemo underscore tr1. Can you see this has become an output field only? If I click on calculate, this has become an output field only. This has become an output field only. You won't be able to provide any input. So in this way, if you go to the screen in the layout and if you go to the program here, sorry, double click on the same, go to the program, and here if you select, this will become, if you do output only, see here output only, then it becomes your output field only. And if you select output not possible, if you select like this is also possible. Activate the same, come out of the flow logic, then again let me do a slash n. See here, can you see the difference? Guys, can you see the difference in the screen designing in both the options? Once if I select that and once if I select this, in the small changes your screen design will become changed. And now guys tell me, isn't this looking better or was that looking better? Is this looking better or that looking better? This one right now. Now if you click on calculate, see the value is coming. If I click on clear, everything gets cleared, right? Now the thing is that what I was telling, if I click on clear, my value should get disappeared. And if I don't do anything, my value, whatever is coming as pre-initialized, it should come, right? So to handle the same, if you see, if I go to my PBO, go to this module, now see this, instead of SciUcom, I have used OK underscore code and clear. Remember the function code as clear. If it is clear, clear both A and B. And this A and B both I have declared initially. And in case if my action is not anything, I want my pre-initialized values to be as it is. Hence, if condition, clear both the same, else condition, initialize the values. I hope up to this point, is it clear to everyone? Guys, up to this point, is it clear to everyone? Now, when I am providing any values here, suppose 2 and 5, on the function command, that is calculate, I want to get the output, right? So if you see, now go back, now go to your user command and see this combination. So if I am clicking on calculate, I want the sum of these two values and to be appeared under result. So result I have declared here and I have also mapped the same under my screen elements. So if I go here, go to the screen element list, this is result, right? Same I have mapped here also. Now result equals to A plus B if OK underscore code equals to CAL, because I specified the function code as CAL. In case if I want to clear the same, this should also get cleared along with these two, right? Along with these two, this should also get cleared. That's why clear A, B and result. Now you guys, you should ask me a question that why I wrote this clear A and B here also, because I told you after PAI again the PBO gets triggered. After PAI again the PBO gets triggered. So to be on the safe side, hence I am clearing it here as well, because if I don't write this logic, once you clear it here, if you, since you have pre-initialized the values in PBO, again it will be set up as 1 1 only. What I mean is, if I uncomment this and if I comment this, okay, now if I activate the same, fine, I have activated the same. Now I come here slash and zdemo underscore 2r, I calculate the same. So now Janani, the question that I was asking you and everyone, now when I click on clear, these two are not getting cleared, right? Guys, can you see? So if this is not looking good, right? So obviously functionals will say that this is not what the user wants. On the screen value, once you have done the user command, and then if I am trying to clear everything, my everything should get cleared but my this is not getting cleared. Why? Though I have written the logic in PAI, why it is not getting cleared, guys? Though I have written the logic in PAI, why it did not get cleared, guys? Anyone? Anyone, guys? Yeah, it is getting reassigned in the PBO. It is getting reassigned in not Pav, Sayyad. It's not Pav Bhaji. It's PBO. Yeah. So now I'll uncomment the same. I'll uncomment the same. Okay. Activate the same. Now once I have activated the same, now see, again I'll open this slash and zdemo underscore tr1. Now if I click on clear, everything gets cleared. So now if you see, that is the reason I have to handle both in PAI and in PBO as well. This flow you should always remember while designing the module full screen. Now here if you see, if I click on back or if I click on cancel, I should go back to the calling screen. Hence, else if OK code equals to back or OK code equals to exit, because under the GUI status, under here I've specified back or exit. If you specified FC underscore back here example and function code FC underscore exit here example, and click on activating the same, and now if you specify this TR, if you click on back, nothing will happen. Why? Because I also need to make the changes here as well. So FC underscore back here and function code underscore exit here. Now if I click on activate the same, if I go here, again specify the T code slash nzdemo tr1. Now if you click on back, see it goes back. And ultimately, if I click on this info, so what do I mean by this info? If you see the zdemo status, if I click on this application toolbar, I have added an information here. Double click on this. This is my normal application function, and I've specified the icon from here. Okay. So if I click on this information, and if I again specify the T code, if I click on this information, I want to get this information. So this is the program to calculate the two numbers, that is A and B, which I have handled through this. So guys, up to this point, is it clear to everyone how to handle initialization and all? If you have handled initialization in PBO, what you should know in PAI, and how, since the flow again comes back to PBO, how you should manipulate the same to do a proper screen designing. Also in your screen layout, how to make the changes for output only or input not possible. So what I have done is, see here, this info is there, right? So if I want to specify anything, Asit, suppose info, okay, click on enter here. So function info occurs on key button, occurs on more than one push button, because info I have already provided. Suppose I will provide anything help, example help. Okay, now see this, once I click on help, it will ask me for a static or dynamic text. I have to click on the static text, go here, then I have to specify the icon name here. Can you see the icon name? I have to specify the icon name here. So this I can specify any function text, suppose whatever function code example function text here. So specify the icon name here. So from here you can select all these options. You can select all these options. Screen is getting stuck up. So you can select out of all these options, Asit. From here only I selected the option icon information, provide the function text here, and once you have done the same, click on save and click on activate. Got the point, Asit? Same way, once you have done this type of functional attributes will come, where the functional type will be normal application function. Okay, I have selected this normal application function and this display information and icon name and all. Okay, So then click on activate, go back, and then done. So guys, you want to design the screen right now as a class assignment, or you want to do it as a home assignment? Okay then. So take this up as a weekend assignment then, fine. Asit, I hope I am going slow. I am repeating all the steps one by one. I hope you are understanding everything in a very clarified way, right? Okay, not an issue. So let's have 2 minutes break before we will cover the last part, creating a tab strip in module pool program, along with the process on value request and the concept of end chain, along with the field and validations. So let's have a 4 minute break. What do you say, guys? Let's have some water. Let's get some energy. Asit will also recall all the steps, right, Asit? Yeah, fine then. Let's have a 4 minutes break. Okay. Okay guys, so should we start? So okay, now coming to the last topic. So creating a tab strip in module programming, as in, like you would have seen in a lot of screens, you got a main screen and then you got a lot of sub screens here, right? You click on this screen, this screen, this screen, and different details accordingly comes up, right? You would have seen a screen like this. When you get a main screen where you get all the details, and then you click on the different sub screens as in the different tabs, right? Yes or no guys? So now we will design a screen in the same way. So I created the program, modulable program, click on create and first click on screen. Okay. So I'll create 101 as my main screen. Okay. I'll create this as my main screen. Hence, let me give the name as main screen. Okay. Click on the flow logic. Go to the layout. So what I'll do here, I'll select this box. Sorry, select this box. Okay, select this box here and specify like this. Drag this. Okay. Now once you select this box, right, double click on this. Okay, provide the name as box and here enter light code. Okay, now done. Now inside this we'll create two text box and two input output box. So one here, one here. Okay, now for this what we will do, we'll specify the text as airline. So text 1 airline. Okay, and for this we'll specify it as text 2 then your airline number. Okay, now for both these we will create a input output boxes here. So input output field 1 here, input output field 2 here. Okay, so 1 here and the other two here. Okay, so now for this one, for the first one, we'll specify the name as p underscore char. Okay, and for the second one we'll specify it as p underscore con. And now the second thing what we will do is, in from the program we will make it required, that is input is mandatory for this. Okay, up to this point we did it. Now saved it. Now for the tab strip what we will do is, if you can see here, tab strip control, right? Select this, specify any position and drag the same. By default SAP, by system will by default it will give you two tabs, tab 1 and tab 2. In case if you want to create any additional tab, select on this push button and specify here the tab 3 will be created. But for now what I'll do, I'll create two tabs for you and one more tab will be an assignment for you. Okay, so I delete this. Now what you do, under this tab 1, I'll specify the name as tab 1 and attributes. Okay, done. Under this tab 2, I'll specify it as tab 2. I'll specify it as tab 2 and I'll get the details from SCEARR. So hence I've written SCEARR. So tab 1 is attributes tab 1 is attributes and tab 2 is SCARR. Okay. Now, one more thing that I forgot to do is, sorry. For this tab strip control, the tab strip control that I have created, I have to specify a name for this tab strip control. I have to specify a name for this tab strip control. So I'll give the name as tab strip. Okay, I'll give the name as tab strip, and resizing I'll do as vertical and horizontal. Okay, so I did the nomenclature for the tab strip, I did the nomenclature for the tab 1, I did the nomenclature for the tab 2. Okay, up to this point, is it clear, guys? I created a box, specified a text, two text fields, two input output fields. I created a tab strip control. I specified a name for the tab strip control. Then I specified the name for this tab 1 and name for the tab 2. Up to this point, is it clear, guys? Okay. Now from here I will select the subscreen area, okay, and just drag this here. Okay, I'll select the subscreen area and just drag this here. Okay, specify the name as the subscreen area SSA. Okay, SSA for this subscreen area. Now what you need to do is, also for this attributes 1 and SCARR, I need to specify the function code for the same. So suppose function code for the same is, I'll give the name as tab 1 here, I'll give the name as tab 2 here. So function code, because I need to handle on the click of this tab or on the click of this tab. So on the click of this tab, tab 2, on the click of this tab, tab 1. Better we'll keep some different name, otherwise it will get confusing. So DISP1 and DISP2. Okay, so what we did up to this point, we created a tab strip control, gave the name of the tab strip control, then created a tab 1 attributes and the function code for the same, tab 2 name and the text and the function code for the same, created a subscreen area, because on this click of this tab a different subscreen will open for this, right? So here for the subscreen area, if you see here this SSA, this subscreen area, I specified the name as SSA for this one, right? SSA for the subscreen area for any one of the screen. Now what you need to do is, now this subscreen area which you have specified here, this SSA subscreen area, you need to specify the same subscreen area as a reference field for all. So you need to specify the same subscreen area as a reference field for all. Okay, so if you click on this dictionary, if you see this SSA already came, because why did it come, guys? Because when I added the subscreen area, I was already in tab 2. Similarly, I need to specify the subscreen reference area for this as well. So I created a box, input field, sorry, text fields, input output fields. I have made this as mandatory as required. Okay, tab strip control, added one tab, added the second tab, first tab and the second tab, added a subscreen area, gave the nomenclature for the tab strip control, then function code for the same, function code for the second tab, then provided a subscreen area. Since I added it as a for the tab 2 field, so see this reference field already came up as SSA. I need to specify the same for the attributes 2, hence the reference field SSA for the same as well. Up to this point, is it clear, guys? Now the screen designing up to this point. What happened to the screen? It's not about the T code. The system is also very. SA80 will be a bit slow because it's the complete ABAP repository which it loads. Is the system connection lost or what? Guys, can you just check once? Is the system connection lost or what? Yeah, it's sort of hung, right? It's like nothing is happening. I hope so. I haven't lost my screen designing. Yeah, thank God. Yeah, now it came. Okay. So up to this part, I designed the screen. So now let's do thing. Now let's do it parallelly. I give you 5 minutes. First, please design the screen. I'll open the layout for you. Please design the screen in this 5 minutes. Otherwise, like everything is becoming a pending task for you because you people are also not able to complete it. Let's please take 5 minutes and please complete the screen fast. Then we'll proceed forward. Okay, guys. Otherwise, what is happening? It is like pending tasks are keep on getting added for you all. So please design the screen in this 5 minutes. Create two tabs. The other tab I'll give it as an assignment. You can add it later, but design the screen now in 5 minutes. I'll once again open the layout for you all so that it will be easier. So I'll do the declaration till the meanwhile you people are doing that. So p underscore char type char id, p underscore con type pfli con id. So guys, see here, I have declared just whatever I used here, p underscore char and p underscore con I used there, right? For screen designing 101. So specified the same here, and for your this user c date, c time, and flag and SSN, I'll show you why I'm using these. Okay. So I hope now you have designed the screen. Now let's proceed forward. Now what we will do, we will add the subscreens as well. Okay. So click on create. First, let me activate up to this point. Click on create. Click on screen. Specify the screen name as 102. Now here this will be a subscreen. This will not be my normal screen. This will be my subscreen. So attribute subscreen. Okay. Now go to the flow logic. Click on the layout. Now one beautiful thing which I show you here is click on dictionary, this one. Okay, I'll again show you. Click on this one, dictionary of program fields, that is F6. Now click on get from program. Okay. Now if I click on get from program, can you see here user, c date and c time. Okay. Enter. Automatically it will come like this. Select here, then specify here 1, here 2 and here 3. Okay. Now what you do, specify for the first one as text 1. This will be your created by. Okay. Specify this as your text 2 and this will be your creation date. Okay. This will be your text 3 and this one will be your creation time. Okay. Up to this point done, right? Now cross check on the right side. Now these all will be your output only fields. These all will be your output only fields. Okay. So here output only and here output only. This part is done. Screen designing is done. Activate the same. Come here. Activate the same, go back and screen number 2 is created. Now create one more screen wherein specify the screen number as 103. Now let us create one more screen wherein we will specify the screen number as 103. So 103. Okay. Now select this as a subscreen and scar subscreen. Now click on the flow logic, flow to the layout. Now here again click on this option and provide this as car. Okay, so here car ID, car name and the currency code. Okay, select like this and drop it like this here. Okay, fine. Now I'll maintain some space. So here I'll specify this as airline underscore name. Okay, and airline underscore currency, let it be there. Now what I'll do is, for this one I'll again make it as output only, and this also output only. Done. Click on activate the same. Once activated, again come here, go back, and done. So main screen is designed, two subscreens are designed, 102 and 103. Okay, now go back to the main program. Now in the main program, for your table strips, you need to add a statement in the declaration called controls. What is the name we give for the tab strip? Was tab strip, right? So tab strip type tab strip. This is the what you need to specify. Whatever name you have given there, you need to specify the same name as controls, tab strip, type tab strip. Okay. Now go to the main screen. That is the 101. Now I'll uncomment the same. Double click on the same. Click this. Click on the master program. Click on the same. Okay. Now uncomment the same. Provide a status. So Z tab status. Save it. Double click on the same. Then create it as a normal screen. Main screen status. Okay. Come here. Function keys. Specify here as back and specify here as exit. Save it. Activate it. Go back. Now let's specify the title again. Z tab title. Then double click here. Create the title. Demo on tab strip. Okay. Up to this point it's done. So PBO is done. Now come back to the main screen. Double click on this PAI user command. I'll do everything in the master program this time. So now up to this point it's done, guys, right? Now since when we are calling the main program, what we need to do, we also need to load the 102 subscreen as well, guys, right? If you see the layout of the main program, this is the screen, right? So this is my main screen 101. So when I am loading this screen, then I should also load attribute subscreen as well, right? Yes or no, guys? When I am loading this screen, I should also load the attribute subscreen as well. Yes or no, guys? Right? So for that reason, go back, activate the same this thing. It is not activated. Now here after this, for calling all the subscreens, we need to add a statement call subscreen. Okay. Subscreen number will come from SSA. What is SSA? Remember, in the reference field while creating the subscreen, I gave the name as SSA. See here, SSA subscreen. So this SSA will automatically navigate to what screen we are going. So call subscreen SSA including the calling program. How do you get the calling program? By this SYC program is the calling program, and the screen number is SSN. So this call subscreen, the reference field SSA, including the calling program and the screen number will specify. This line of code you need to add. After that, what you need to do is, then in your user command, now module status is done. Now in your status, so when I am loading the screen for the first time, I want under that first subscreen, that is 102, that created by, created on, and created time to come. Okay, so what I'll do is, if flag is initial and if, okay, now I'll specify the value as user underscore equal to sci u name. Okay, then your c underscore date equals to sci u date, sci datum. Okay, c underscore time equals to sci use it. Okay, and flag equals to x. Why I'm setting this flag equals to x is because I want to do this for once only. Even after that, if the screen, because PBO will be called multiple times, right or wrong guys? PBO will be called multiple times, and I don't want to get this logic processed again and again. That is the reason I am setting the flag equals to x after this is executed once, so that this logic doesn't get executed again and again. This logic should be executed only when this application is loaded for the first time. Getting my point guys up to this point? Up to this point, is it clear? Okay, now I have set the values here. Now what I want is, I also want, now okay, now up to this PBO part is done, fine. Now coming to the user command part. So I'll use the case statement as case iucom. Let us use the case statement and end case. Okay, inside this, so when it is back, when it is back or exit, when it is back or exit, what I have to do? Leave to screen 0. Okay, when it is the function code, that is DISP1, that is the first one. Okay, then what I should do? I should make the tab strip active tab equals to the name what I have given here. So function code I had given the name as DISP1, right? The same name you have to give the function code for here as well. The same name you have to give for here as well. So if you go to your main screen, suppose I'll just save it here. So if I go to your main screen 101, go to the layout. And if you open this, so what is the function code I have given here? DISP1, right? What is the function code I have given here? DISP2. So you need to use the same here. Guys, just give me a minute, I'll have some water. Okay, fine. So I was in user command. So when the user command is DISP1, so my active tab should be the same function code name which I gave now. So DISP1, This is the tab strip active tab which I want to make, okay? And SSN is the value of the screen number. So in DISP1, what should be my screen number as 102, right? Now, similarly, when it will be DISP2, so when it will be the tab 2, screen number will change to 103 and this will change to DISP2, okay? After that, just activate the same, shift and F1, control and F3. So if you see SSN I have displayed here, initially default value I have given the value of the main screen 101. So why I am setting this value? Because if you see in my 101 screen I had written this logic, no, call subscreen SSA the reference field, including the calling program and the screen number. So in the user command, whatever tab I am clicking in the main screen, it should go to that tab. So that's why that screen number and the calling program and SSA is the reference field. Now I have done this point. I have created the GUI status. I have also created this. Now let us try to create a T code for this first. So create a transaction. Tab strip demo. Select this program name. Provide the main screen number. The main screen number was which one? 101, right? 101. Then here, click on save. Specify the package, same steps, and then zdemo underscore tcode 2. So slash o zdemo underscore tcode 2. So now you will get this error because till now we haven't defined the screen. The screen has either been defined incorrectly or is being used incorrectly. So if you want to see the error, let us go. Here, see this. This module status 001 output. This gave the error, right? So now to see this, if you select this PBO module, where did it go? See, this is inactive. Activate the same. Now let us see. Again not assigned, right? Sorry. So still we are missing something. Let us check what we are missing now. Guys, what you are missing? Can anyone tell me? Guys, can anyone tell me what we are missing? So I had specified now guys, did you understand why purposely what I did? See, purposely I made it 101 as the default value, right? Now guys, tell me this SSN 101, if I give here as 101, right? When I'm calling this subscreen SSA including scene program SSN as 101, I'm already in 101 and again trying to call 101. Isn't it a conflict or not? Isn't it wrongly assigned or not? Yes or no, guys? So what happened is, initially when I was trying to call this 101 screen from the 101 screen, obviously it's a conflict. So that is the reason initially the default value should not be pointing to the main screen. Initially the default value should not be pointing to the main screen, because see here, when this will go to the PBO, initially here it will not be able to assign any screen number for the same. It is just setting the GUI status and the title and this thing, right, and nothing else. So then it will go to this line. So obviously it has, when I told that when I want to load this screen should also get loaded, right? This screen should also get loaded. Hence I have to specify the screen number for the same. Is this point clear, guys? Up to this point, guys, is it clear? Now see, if I don't specify any value and I made it as a required, I will automatically get an error as fill out all the required entry fields. Okay. Now to handle this, if I specify this number, okay, now this will tell us the invalid field format. Why? Because I also haven't written the logic for this. So now let me complete the pending logics first. So go to the main screen, go to the layout, go to this, go to the dictionary, change this as your numchar. Okay, activate the same here, go back, go to the flow logic for the same. Okay, now what you do, go to the user command. Now here in the user command, where did we go? Z-tab underscore status. So back and exit. So I'll exit the same. Now let me run this T code again. Now see here. Now if I specify 017, it will not share in invalid format. Can you see? It did not specify as an invalid format because we changed the output type. Now I want this also to be a mandatory field, as in a required field, but I want to handle the same through the code. How to do the same? Go to the PBO. After this if and if condition, the same what I had shown you during the selection, the screen programming. Loop at screen, end loop. Okay, shift and F1. Now specify what should, if your screen hyphen name, if your screen name equals to, the screen name was P underscore CAR, right? So specify the same, and if shift and F1. So if the screen name equals to P underscore CAR, I want to make it as a mandatory field. So screen required equals to 1. Okay, full stop, modify screen, full stop, control F2, control F3, activate the same, activate the entire program once, and done. Now let us go back. Now zdemo underscore tcode 2. Now see here, if I specify 017, fine, still it will show you fill out all the required fields, because now this is mandatory. Screen required equals to 1. This is mandatory. So AA, now see it will not test. Now can you see? So now when I am going here, now this is blank because we haven't written the logic for this. So in this way we can make fields mandatory either by changing the property in the screen painter, by making input as required, or through the code. So up to this point, is it clear, guys? Up to this point, is it clear to everyone? Okay. Now the next thing that we will do is that that F4, this thing what you are seeing here, I'll just close this point. Now this thing what you are seeing here, we'll try to provide a F4 value help here. Okay, So for that, what we need to do is we need to add a code called process on value request. We need to add called process on value request. Where we need to add is, we will go to the main screen. Once we go to the main screen, here it is PBO, here it is PAI, right? So after PBO and PAI, we need to specify the process on value request for the same. So process on value request, shift and F1. Okay, now for this process and value request, for which field I need for field. Okay, I need to specify the syntax is field. For the field PA underscore CAR, right? I have specified it as PA underscore CAR. Now what I need to do is module, because I want to write the logic for this. So suppose if I just add field PA underscore PAR and activate the same, and now suppose if I provide this T code as zdemo underscore T code 2, so this will say a syntax or generation error will come. Why? Because after that field, after that field I have not specified any module or anything for the same. Here after this I have not specified anything for the same. So module, okay, value underscore help underscore char id. Okay, control F3, activate the same. Now it will double click on this. I'll create the logic for the same as well. Here I'll create in the same master program. Okay, activate the same. Now is it done? Now let's see. Now activate everything. Now specify the T code. Now see here F4 comes. Guys, now tell me one thing. If I click on this F4, will anything happen? Nothing will happen, right? Why so nothing is happening? Why so nothing is happening? Can anyone tell me why so nothing is happening on clicking of F4? Anyone? Why nothing was happening on the clicking of F4? Can anyone tell me? No one? Yeah, Naresh is right. We haven't written any logic inside it here. How will the F4 work? We haven't written any logic. So the logic for this is now data. I'll create an internal table lt underscore tab, type table of dd shrevl. This is for the search help written values. Okay, now I'll show you one glimpse of what I'm going to teach you tomorrow. Okay, now see this properly. How I'm going to write the select query. Select from scar fields distinct char id, okay, into table at the rate data, open braces close braces, okay, then here lt underscore char id. This is the new way of writing the SQL query. This is called enhanced open SQL. This I'll be teaching you tomorrow. So select from database table, then fields, then distinct char id, because I wanted to get the distinct char id values, into table. At the runtime I will specify the internal table rather than declaring before. So this is the new way through which. So guys, do you like this syntax or like the old syntax where you were declaring earlier and then you were writing the select query? I knew, Asit, you will be the first one to reply this. So select from database table, fields distinct, then the field name whatever you want into table at the rate data and lt char id. Okay, now there is a function called f4 if underscore int underscore table. Okay, then value request. Click on this. Now what all I need is, I don't need this DDIC structure. I need to return the map this internal table char ID to my returning value p underscore char. So what I'll specify here, CARR ID. Okay. Now I don't need this pval key. Now in the dinpro program, dinpro number and the dinpro field, I'll need this. So what I'll specify here, I'll specify the calling program here. So SYCPROG. The dinpro number will be the system dinpro number SYDYNNR, and the dinpro field will be p underscore CAR. Okay. Now I'll also need to specify that value org as S here. And rest all I don't need from here. Importing also I don't need. So delete this as well. Now under the tables I just need value underscore tab. So here you pass the values where the internal table which is having the values, so LT underscore char ID, and in the return tab I don't need this as well. So under the return tab pass LT underscore tab. So I don't need this as well. And I need the exceptions. Let the exceptions be there. Then shift and F1 and done. Control and F3. Activate the same and done. Okay. Now let me go here. Specify the T code. Click here. Clicking on F4. See, all the value came. Carrier ID. Suppose A. Specify the value as 017 and this value came. Can you see? So I showed you F4 as well. Now the other thing which I wanted to show you is, so suppose if I am not specifying anything, I want to add a validation that if I am not specifying anything here and if I am not specifying anything here, rather than showing the system message, it should show me my own message. Okay, it should show me my own message. So what you can do, I want to validate for both the same at one go and I want to show my own message. So how do I can do is, in the PAI, so now I need to specify something and go back. So go to your PAI, go to the main screen, go to the PAI. So in the PAI, before the user command, I will write a logic for validating both the fields. So how can you use? Do a chain and do an end chain if you want to validate more than a single field. Chain and an end chain. Okay. Then field, like how I have used field here. Field, specify both the fields, p underscore car, p underscore con, module, input underscore validation. Okay, full stop. Suppose now activate the same. Now double click on this input validation. It will ask you for creating it. Create the same zdemo underscore tab strip. Here now I will write the logic here. So what we will do, select from SPFLI fields, we will do a count asterisk. Okay, count asterisk where char ID equals to @p underscore char and your con ID equals to @p underscore con into data into data lv underscore count. Okay, now if lv underscore count equals to 0, if the count is 0, and if, then throw an error message that message invalid airline details, type as E. Shift F1, Control F2, Control F3. Activate the main program as well. Now go here, zdemo underscore T code 2. Suppose if I specify as HL and 013. See here, invalid airline details. Now, what is the benefit that I get out of giving this as this chain and all? Suppose if I uncomment the same, if I comment the same and if I activate it, okay, if I activate the same, then the benefit that I get is, so suppose, now let me activate the same here as well. Now let us go back here. Now if I execute the same, if you see here, now let us specify the value as HL, and if I specify the value as 013, can you see this? Since I have specified the module for only P underscore con, and I haven't added this chain and all, only for P underscore con, so only this is becoming as editable. So I can change the value, but for P underscore con, this became disabled. Since I wanted to handle both, so that if in case if any error is there, the user should again be able to re-edit the same, right? User should not get a screen that he is not able to edit only. User should be able to re-edit the same in case if anything went wrong. That is the reason why we add field and chain and chain. Chain and chain is for validating more than one field, and the field along with the module is for the validation purpose. Are you getting the point, guys, up to this point? What is the purpose that why we use chain and chain along with field along with the module? Now I'll again uncomment the same. I'll activate the same. I'll go back /n zdemo underscore T code 2. Now that is the reason if I give HL and if I give 013, it shows me invalid airline details, and again it gives me the feasibility to change the same. So 017. Okay. Now if you give here, you get the details accordingly. So guys, up to this point, is it clear? Guys, up to this point, is it clear to everyone what we did? Now one more thing, for 012, I want the data to be mapped when I am clicking on that scar wala tab, right? So double click on this, click on yes, click on this main program. Now for this we will not set the status and title because it is not required, because the status and title bar was required only for the main screen, not for the sub screen. So what we will do, select single asterisk from scar. Okay, you can write in this way as well. In case if you are select single asterisk from scar into @data ls underscore scar, where char id equals to @p underscore char. Okay, now sorry, this should not be 102, this should be in 103. because my scar details is in my 1031. So select single asterisk from SCARR into @data ls underscore scar, okay, where char id equals to @p underscore car. Now what we will do, we'll map the values. So scar was there, right? Scar char id, this is my field name on the screen as well, right? Because we did get from database table. So ls underscore scar char id, scar char name equals to ls underscore char name and scar currency code equals to ls underscore scar currency code. Shift and F1, activate the same. So I'll activate this also because we had touched this. Activate the same. Activate this as well. Activate this as well. Okay. Now activate everything. Now go here. ZDemo underscore T code 2. Specify as AA. Specify as 017 and go to scar. See the details comes. Getting the point, guys? This was the reason I wrote the logic for this in PBO here. So with this we come to the end of today's class. I hope up to this point it's clear to each and everyone. That's why I went slow. I took so many scenarios. I created a radio button. I showed you the demo with those calculating values by using help push buttons and all. Even I showed this tab strip to you. So up to this point, guys, is it clear to each and everyone? Guys, are you there? Thanks, Asit. So the thing that you people need to do is the calculation one which I showed, no, that you need to work it as a weekend assignment. I'll add it to your assignment, and to this one which you saw now, here you need to add an SPFLI tab, and based on this airline, this detail in the SPFLI, you need to display the SPFLI details. So you need to create this entire tab strip screen, add one more tab as SPFLI. To that SPFLI, I need to display the SPFLI details. The question is clear, right, guys? The question is clear to everyone, right? Okay, fine then. Practice these two. First, work on this assignment first, because already you started on this. Create one more tab, okay? Then fill up the details from SPFLI, and then take that other one as your weekend assignment, that calculation one. Okay, I'll share the assignment with you tomorrow, and also work on the pending assignment which for the last week. Okay, guys, then. So do anyone have any queries? I am a big fan supporter of CSK. CSK is only not there. So tomorrow we will do that prediction. Who is going to win the IPL on 10th of November? Right, Asit? So I think that Asit is a big fan of Mumbai. Okay, Asit is from Mumbai only. That is the reason. So Srishti, Ravi, Shifani, everyone, is it everything clear? Janani, Kaushik, Aditya, Snehal, Sayyad Penkari, everything is clear, right? Any queries up to this point, whatever you understood today? Fine then. Practice all these concepts today. Okay, first work on this one, add one more tab and get the details from SPFLI. Okay. Yeah, a lot of hands-on required, Aditya. So have a good rest and then try on the hands-on. Fine then. Okay, we'll connect tomorrow. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.